Kia ora, welcome to Tall Poppy Chats,
Kia ora,
episode
Anna.
1. A less formal Tall Poppy project platform where we can just have a chat about important things, hopefully entertain some people and just have a bit of fun at the end of the day.
Yeah.
How we doing? We've got Lige here.
Hey, kia ora, everybody.
There he is.
How we doing?
Who else have we got, Lige?
We got Jackson on the sound. Jackson, say what up really loud.
Hi.
Cool.
There he is.
Yeah, we're just going to chat. We're just going to talk about finance and just whatever the basics.
Yeah. I think it's important to get back to basics because after our interview with the Dried Flower Co., one thing I realised was that we can have these interviews and marketing videos for these businesses, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
It's going to inspire people to actually get things going with their business ideas. But people need to know where to start with money.
Exactly.
So many people do not know where to start with money these days.
Yeah.
Me included, 1 year ago.
Yeah.
1 year ago, I didn't know where to start with money, what to do.
Exactly.
It's not common knowledge.
Yeah.
You don't know where to start with money if you don't know, if you don't get the education. Luckily for us, though, there are people out there, there are financial gurus, there are entrepreneurs that are out there that are there to educate us about money.
That's right, yeah. Because people have like dreams and aspirations
Yeah.
that they want to do in that, but they don't know where to start.
Yeah. And I mean, Annalise in the video for the Dried Flower Co., she said one of the biggest financial takeaways for her was to start making money work for you, not you working for money.
Right.
And for me, 1 year ago, that would have been the most confusing line
Right,
ever.
saying that just flew over my head.
Absolutely.
It would have, yeah.
Yeah,
exactly.
it would have, exactly. But that's why it's really important to start our financial education in our youth. I
Yeah.
mean, we are, how many years out of high school are you, Lige?
Bro, oh man, I don't want to give it
Can
away,
you
but
remember?
bro, I'm like five
Years out of high school.
6 years.
6 years. That must mean I'm 5 years out of high school.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
Bro,
5
yeah,
years,
yeah.
yeah.
And like in high school, bro, I had no knowledge of finance. Like same with me, like probably like a year or two ago is when I started actually thinking about finance. And in high school, whenever I get money, whenever I see money come into my bank account, boom, it's out of
That's
there
it, it's
by the end
gone.
of that week. Yeah.
You get money and you spend it.
Because you don't have the knowledge of what to actually do with that money. And
exactly.
especially growing up, didn't really learn about finance and how to like properly deal with that or save it or whatever. The moment you do get money and you get a part-time job or whatever, it's just spend it,
Absolutely.
buy things you want. And yeah,
That's why I'm so annoyed that it's such a taboo subject to talk about.
Yeah.
Because every single one of us, human beings on this earth, have to deal with money.
definitely.
That is our currency.
Bro, yeah.
No matter what country we're in, money is our currency.
It's how we like, yeah, it's how we get by. Like,
Exactly. That's how we get by.
yeah.
That's how we put a shelter over our heads. That's how we put
Yeah.
food on our table. That's how we pay power bills. That's how we do things.
Yeah,
We need to deal with money, and yet in our school system, it's not talked about.
Nah.
There's no finance and commerce classes at school don't teach you about the basics of finance.
No,
they don't teach you about budgeting. They don't
right,
teach you where
that's
your
right.
money should be going. They just teach you kind of higher order thinking about money and kind of the ins and outs of business finance,
yeah.
those sort of things. But they don't teach you the foundational knowledge of what you actually need to do with your
Exactly,
money
yeah.
when it gets paid into your bank account.
That's right. And that's the knowledge, like that's the 101 that everybody needs.
Absolutely.
Especially in high school and everyone's getting into jobs and that it's vital.
Yeah, absolutely. One person that I will direct everybody towards, if you're listening to this and you have no idea where to start with money, if you're scared to talk about money, if you're a bit afraid, I'm not really sure what I need to do with my paycheck every week, or maybe you actually didn't even know that you're mucking around. Because quite a few times you just don't know what you don't know.
Exactly, yeah.
You don't know what you don't know. Money comes in, you spend it. That's just what happens.
Yeah.
That's not wrong because I don't know any different.
Exactly, yeah.
It's time to start addressing these things though. This guy called Dave Ramsey on YouTube. He's on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, pretty much every social media platform there is. Dave Ramsey.
Uncle Dave Ramsey.
Uncle Dave, that's right. He's a financial guru. He's a master with the basics of finance. That's what I think. And his story is quite inspiring. He's got a YouTube channel which has got a couple of million subscribers now, I think. But he's easily accessible. All of his content is super easily accessible. And Dave Ramsey has 7 baby steps to get you started on your financial journey and to really put you in a position to build wealth. That's his
Right.
big thing.
Yeah.
To build wealth in order to be able to bless other people.
Right,
And
yeah,
give.
yeah.
And give and give and give. If I have $1,000 in my bank, I can only give a little bit. Mm-hmm. Later in life, though, when I'm more successful, when I've got millions, how much more can I give to those people in need?
Definitely.
That's the big thing.
Yeah.
That's the big ticket issue that Dave Ramsey talks about in his YouTube channel.
That's awesome.
Dave Ramsey, 7 baby steps. Number 1, $1,000 in your bank account to start an emergency fund. $1,000.
Yeah.
Not
Which is-
much.
yeah.
But just something there so that if the proverbial hits the fan,
Yeah.
you've got something there. You've got a bit of backing there so that you can weather that storm.
Exactly.
If your car breaks down.
yeah.
if-
You've just get.
What else could happen? I don't know.
The entire country goes on lockdown.
Yeah, if the entire country
Yeah.
goes on lockdown, exactly. You've got a little bit there just to
You can
tide
just-
you over.
yeah.
You've got $1,000 in the bank to help you out. And it's called the start of your emergency fund. That is step number 1. Put $1,000 away into a normal checking account to start your emergency fund.
Easy.
Easy peasy. It should be easy peasy,
Yeah.
but for such a materialistic generation, it's not that easy to have $1,000 just sitting there.
Yeah,
Because that's $1,000
that's right.
that you could be spending on those new shoes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Come on.
Getting that new phone.
That's right, on their new phone. Oh, iPhone releases a new phone. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to drop $2,000 on this phone.
Yeah.
That's a
I
load
think
of
the thing
rubbish.
for me, because I knew about that first baby step and I did it, and one thing that for my mindset, like I had to change, like self-control on the spending and actually setting that money aside and actually like changing my mindset and yeah, I think there's a mindset shift that has to happen in
absolutely.
people today, like about money and actually wanting to save and having that self-control with money.
That's totally true. And I think Dave Ramsey hits on that as well. His big philosophy is that money is not a mathematical issue.
Yeah.
It's a behavioral issue.
Right,
What
yeah.
we do with the money is the problem, not the maths behind the money. We're very good with the maths. People are very good with the maths of the money. They're, if I've got $1,000 in my account, I can get this and this and this.
That's
and they're
right.
very good at budgeting every dollar to spend. But as soon as it becomes a thing of building wealth and retaining wealth and seeing that those savings build, that's when it gets tricky because it's not a mathematical issue, it's a behavioral issue.
Yeah.
Number 2, pay off all consumer debt apart from your mortgage if you have one. That's big. What's the one thing that robs you of money every paycheck? Debt.
Yeah, that's right.
Debt.
Yep.
I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory.
Debt.
if you're paying for something
Right,
every
yeah,
pay,
yeah.
if $300 out of your $1,500 paycheck is coming out every week, it's just robbing you of money.
Yeah,
That's
exactly,
pretty simple.
yeah.
So what Dave Ramsey says is to list all of your debts from smallest to largest. And now this might not be mathematically correct, but as we just went over, and you can look at Dave Ramsey's YouTube channel, listen to him. It's not a mathematical issue. It's a behavioral issue.
Right,
And what
yeah.
Dave Ramsey says is to do the debt snowball, not the debt avalanche. The debt avalanche would be starting with your highest interest debt, which would make mathematical sense. Get rid of the highest interest first. But Dave Ramsey says no. And I mean, I'm a child of this thinking as well. So I'm a big supporter of this. It's a behavioral issue. Debt snowball.
right.
Start off with your smallest debt. If you have $150 on a credit card, get that paid off first. That's a little victory. It's going to give you a little bit of oomph to move on to the next debt and the next debt. If you have $4,000 on an amazing new guitar that you
Yeah.
just so happen to get on high purchase or a beautiful TV, pay that off next.
Yeah, and paying off those smaller ones, you're seeing that change. You're seeing
Exactly.
that paying off, and then boom, boom, boom. Yeah,
It's given you the victory. It's giving
Totally.
you an understanding. Oh, I'm actually getting control over this. I'm
That's
getting
right.
control over my financial life. Pay off all consumer debt, not mortgage. Now, one thing I still haven't decided is whether or not the student loan comes into that. Because, and this is a conversation to be had, because in America, of course, student loans have exorbitantly high interest rates.
Right.
And you're seeing a real crisis over there right now where people are getting into millions of dollars of debt with their student loan. Over here, we don't have interest.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's a conversation to be had in the future. But I think that comes down to a personal decision. Do you see that student loan as something that is robbing you of money every pay? And do you think it's worth
It is for me.
paying that off? There we go. And it could be. But I think, it's a person-by-person thing.
Yeah,
it's a
that's
person-by-person decision.
Yeah.
And all of these, at the end of the day, are personal decisions for us to make. Baby step number 3, save 3 to 6 months worth of expenses. List all the expenses you pay at pay time, on payday, all the expenses that you pay, list them, and work out how much 3 to 6 months worth of those expenses is going to cost.
Right.
It could be, for 6 months, it could be something around, I don't know, $24,000. If you've got a mortgage, if you've got power, if you've got cars to run, all those things, it could be about $24,000. 3 months, maybe looking $15,000 maybe.
Right, yeah.
Around there. Saving 3 to 6 months of expenses means that when, again, the crap hits the fan, you've got money in the bank to tide you over, not just for however long $1,000 gets you,
Yeah.
but for that 3 to 6 months, you're sorted.
Yeah,
if you get
definitely.
fired from your job, if
Yeah.
your workplace goes into liquidation,
And you can
Hey,
survive off that, for however long you...
that's right, it's fine.
Yeah.
We're going to be okay for this next 3 to 6 months. It's going to be okay.
Yeah.
We can tide ourselves over and we can look for another job. Okay? That's a big one. And then 4, 5, 6, and 7 all work... 4, 5, and 6 all work in unison, the baby steps. And now these are far, far on. Especially for me. They're a couple years down the track for me.
List them off. What have we got?
We've got investing 15% of your income
Oh, nice. Yeah.
into low risk mutual funds and ETFs. So that's stocks, investing them in stocks.
Right, yeah.
Now, for me, I'm still totally learning about
Yeah, same,
stocks.
same.
I'm learning about the stock market. I don't know much.
Yeah.
But I think if you're at that position, it's time to start talking to someone that you trust, a financial advisor, a person that's had success in investing in stocks, talking to them, getting the lowdown on how to go about that. I think that's not a decision to be made lightly, investing in stocks. I think that's a decision that you need to talk to someone who knows what they're doing, because at the end of the day, this is 15% of your income, every pay going into these things. It's not a small amount.
Yeah.
You need to make sure that you are maximizing your returns.
Yeah. Get the best advice on...
That's right.
Okay.
I mean, we'll probably have someone on our Tall Poppy chats in the next maybe month that really knows about stocks. And I mean, he'll be an amazing guest.
Yeah.
I think you know who I mean.
I do.
There we go.
I do. This
But
our
I mean,
secret weapon.
if we get him on, he can talk all about stocks, investing, finance. He is an absolute guru.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be amazing to have him on. We'll get that going. Baby step number 5 is a university fund for your children.
Cool. Easy.
Why make them pay and get into the debt that you did? Save up. Allow them to go through university debt-free so they have a step up
right,
in
yeah.
life. Why put them through the same turmoil that you went through having a student loan? Let them cross that step out.
Yeah.
Have a university fund for them.
Yeah.
Come on.
That's it. Yeah.
Come on.
Come on.
And number 6, pay off your home early.
Boom.
Which is, pretty self-explanatory. Number 7, the most important, this is the goal, build wealth and give.
Yeah, man.
That is the goal of financial success, is to give,
Yeah.
is to be generous, to help those in need.
That's right. I think, for me, that's why, I would want to build wealth. And looking into it, and like what you said earlier, now, when you get the millions and getting a successful business to bless others.
That's right. Yeah.
And I mean, you get I've got dreams and stuff and things I want to get and for myself, and which will be really cool. But I mean, at the end of the day, be even more cooler to be able to bless others and people in need. And
the dream for me is to be able to see someone struggling, going through a time in life that they have no control over, because life does hit sometimes. Life happens.
different.
Life, yeah, it's different, man. Sometimes it's different. I mean, life happens.
Yeah.
Things happen. Terrible situations arise. But how amazing would it be to have the ability to see those people going through those times, to step in
Exactly.
and to help them through.
Yeah.
Not only morally with support, not only with wise counseling, but with financial aid as well.
Right,
How
yeah.
amazing would that be?
Yeah.
And for me, the most amazing and inspiring business owners and successful people are the ones that have never lost sight of that goal.
Yeah.
To bless others.
Yeah.
And to be a real blessing to their community. Those are the business owners. Those are the financially successful people that I aspire to be like.
Right. Yeah.
They're doing it, man.
Definitely.
They're doing it.
Yeah.
They're achieving their goals and lifting other people up at the same time.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah. How cool is that? That was a good rant.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was really cool.
Nice.
It's
That
good
was
to get that
nice.
off my chest, man.
Yeah, good
People
job.
need to
Good
know.
job. Yeah,
People need to
definitely.
know this.
Yeah.
I mean, we, as part of our friend group, we have people just eating up that Dave Ramsey stuff.
Yeah.
And so every time we talk,
Yeah.
there's all that comes up.
I think, yeah, exactly. Definitely. And I think like that's one thing with our age group is we're now learning, we're now seeing
Yeah.
like finances actually matter. It's time to think seriously about it and to set ourselves up for the future and to think like, right, like we actually have to change our mindset and behavior around money. And yeah, that's why I started looking into it. Just
Is it possible for everyone to succeed financially in life? That's a big question. Is it possible, no matter your background, race, religion, beliefs, is it possible for you to succeed in life financially? If you apply these principles, is it?
yeah, well, like you said, it's a behavioral issue. So I don't think it has anything to do with your background and like what hand you're given when you're born. You know what I mean? What you're born into or whatever. It's your mindset and what you make of your life.
A really
and,
interesting conversation to have. Yeah.
yeah,
Because, lots of people will look down on themselves and say, oh, because of my background, because of my
right,
family's financial background, I can't do this.
yeah,
This is too hard. The hand I've been given, it is too hard to get up and out of. And I feel for those people. I really, my heart is with them, because to be in that situation, man, that must be a hopeless situation. There must be despair in that situation.
right,
And I guess it would take someone coming in and leading those people through
Yeah.
that situation to show them, hey, you can do it.
well, yeah. Well, like you said before, it's like people just don't know. So like that's why people think like that. Is like I can't do this, whatever. Well, they just don't know that they can do it.
Yeah.
And they just don't know where to start and what to actually do in order to become successful. And so they just stay in that mindset of like, I'm just gonna be stuck here for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, you can actually like be successful and you can get out of it and then you can help your family out of it as well.
And for everybody, maybe success doesn't look like having millions of dollars in the bank.
Right.
Success might look really different for other people. Success might look, for some people, like owning their first home,
Yeah.
like being able to put food on the table and comfortably pay their power and petrol bill every week.
Yeah.
Maybe for some people that's what success looks like. And I mean, that's fine. But I really think in New Zealand, part of our issue is that we're not openly having these conversations. Where we're seeing the wage gap and the poverty gap grow and grow and grow.
Yeah.
And maybe partly it is because of luck and of these people that have become really successful stepping on the people below them. Maybe partly. Not saying it is.
Yeah.
But also maybe it's that these people that have become really financially successful have applied these behavioral principles to their life and their finances, and now they're reaping the rewards.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah.
But how about something happens in New Zealand where we look to start helping those people right down here? Maybe not by maybe not by bumping up the benefit, maybe not by, and I'm not sure about all this stuff. I'm not an expert on any of the social welfare stuff. I'm not sure. I don't know where to start, what to think about it. But how about we start something where these people begin to understand the financial knowledge that they need to know to get themselves out of that position.
Well, it's like that old saying,
help
like,
themselves.
give a man a fish, he eats for a day. You teach a man to fish, he can
Feed a man for life.
Yeah.
Oh,
He can do it himself. He can get it, feed himself
Yeah.
for the rest of his life.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah, I find it really interesting watching rich people's lives on Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. I just find it really interesting.
Yeah.
Like someone like Conor McGregor, who's come from, I mean, his story is ridiculous.
True.
2 weeks before his first UFC event or something like that, he was on the welfare, collecting his welfare check, living in his apartment in Dublin,
Wow.
hardly able to put food on the table, and then all of a sudden, because of I guess, just the hard work that he put in, he becomes a multi-millionaire in a couple of years.
Yeah.
That stuff is crazy.
Well, it's also a mindset, right? Like he started and he wanted to be successful. You know what I mean? Like,
And he wasn't going to let anything stop him from becoming successful.
he built that personality around like, I am successful before he became it, and then he became it. Same with Floyd Mayweather.
Yeah, it's very true.
You know, like he had a nickname before, Money Mayweather, but he built that character around being successful and having money. And then, you know, if you think that you're going to be successful, you're going to become successful. Part of it's about your mentality. You know, if what you think about is what you're going to get. You know what I'm saying?
I do, yeah. It's a very good point.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's very
As a
interesting.
man thinks, so he shall become. Aye.
Yeah. Who said that wise proverb?
Gandhi? Nah. Find that in the Bible somewhere.
Gandhi. Oh, yes. Well, that's really good. I'm really glad that we got through that. And I think, people need to know that stuff.
Yeah.
People need to look up Dave Ramsey, because one thing I love about Dave Ramsey as well, it makes me feel better about my financial situation sometimes.
Right.
When maybe things are a little bit tight, or I'm on a shoestring budget. I listen to some of Dave Ramsey's YouTube videos, and people are calling in that have millions of dollars of debt.
Real.
And it's quite sad, but it makes me feel a little bit better about myself. I'm like,
True.
woo!
Yeah.
Yeah. That's cool. Time to just talk about nothing for a little while.
Yeah, sure. Fridges.
Fridges, man. What are they all about?
What's the deal, man?
What's the deal, bro?
More refrigerator.
What's your favorite power star rating? On the fridge, you know, because I hate going to someone's house and they go to 1 star, and I'm
One
like,
star
man,
power
what the
rating.
higgy child, like, what the?
What's the
What is
highest
this?
power rating that you can get on a fridge, though?
6 stars.
Really?
I think so.
I hardly ever see a fridge above like 3.
Yeah, me too.
Bro, because we're just getting like middle grade fridges.
Getting average fridges.
Or some of the top grade fridges are actually really not power efficient.
Right.
Because they,
True.
I mean,
It's a lose-lose situation. Just get any fridge you can, like, that
you've
works.
got to get a crappy fridge for it to be 6-star power rating. If you buy a mean as LG or Samsung or Fisher & Paykel fridge that gives you ice and nice ice cold water, bro, that ain't going to be a power efficient fridge.
You seen those fridges with TVs now?
What?
There's fridges with like a monitor on the front.
Serious?
Yeah, and you can push a button and there's a camera on the inside so you can see what's inside your fridge. So you don't have to open it and lose the cool.
What?
Are you cool with being cool? Because this fridge is ice cold.
Dang it. That's crazy. What? So it literally shows you what's inside the fridge without opening it.
Yeah. Yeah. So like the idea is when you open your fridge.
So this is what I'm talking about with this poverty gap, man. Like, what? People are buying this stuff now.
With a
the
regular
stuff?
fridge, when you're opening it.
Why do you need that, man?
Well, cold air is going to come out when you open your fridge.
And?
It's
developers
enough.
of this are just like, yo, these suckers are gonna buy this.
Yeah, literally. These guys have too much money to know what to do with.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'd like to think even if I was really, really well off financially, that I would still live
Yeah.
a bit of a humble lifestyle.
Yeah, I think I would, eh?
Yeah,
I don't think,
because
like...
we were talking about that. You said
Yeah.
we drove past that really, really nice house.
Yeah.
and you said, no, I couldn't do anything like
Bro,
that.
I know. I don't think I could live in a big house. Like, I don't even know if I'd live in a 2-story house. Like,
Stuff.
I don't know.
Really?
Yeah, I think I would live
2-story
like
house for me is
below
like-
my means. Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
I would just kind of get a little bit of what I want, and then like, you know. But
Isn't it?
yeah. But I think at the end of the day, just living below my means.
What does
eh?
living below means mean
Well, I mean,
for people that don't know? That's an important financial principle.
Yo.
Living below your means.
Yeah, well, I mean, so for me, like, for me in high school with a part-time job, I was not living below my means because I was getting my money and all of it was being spent.
On what?
Right.
What were you buying?
But then food, okay?
Yes!
Bro, a perfect
Food!
food
That's the
is the
biggest
killer.
killer, man!
Food is a killer. And my favorite let me just describe my afternoon. I come home, we had a dairy around the corner. I go stopping at the dairy. I get a packet of potato stick chips.
What?
Like a
Wait,
chocolate milk.
Stop. Potato stick chips.
Yeah, that's what they were called.
The
like,
sticks.
they
The
were blue-
potato
they were-
sticks.
they were- no, they were like crisps, but like sticks, just like French fries, but like potato chips.
I know what you're talking
Yeah. So I buy a big packet of those, a chocolate milk, and a pie or something, and like every
Pie for
afternoon,
killer.
take it home and watch Home Improvement. Watch reruns of Home Improvement.
What is
Tim
it?
Allen.
Tim Allen.
Tim the Toolman Taylor.
Is it the one where you go, ooh?
Yeah. Anyway, so I mean, so like just going from having no money to all of a sudden having money is like, okay, cool. Like check my bank account. Okay, how am I going to spend this money? This money's got to be gone. You know what I mean? So, I mean, living below your means is like, bro, how do I explain
Not
it?
spending everything you earned.
Bro, exactly. Like, not even coming close, I don't think.
That's
like, for
good.
me, I don't think I even want to come close to spending. Like, so it's being strategic and, like, dividing it, putting aside or whatever, just spending what you have to spend with your money. And, yeah, don't even come close to ever spending all of your income because...
Yeah.
of that. It's just living a humble life and I don't know.
It's such a habit to get into, though, isn't it? Just
Bro.
honestly, I totally agree. Food is a killer.
It is, man.
love buying food.
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah.
Like, honestly, nothing can beat an awesome fried chicken meal.
Bro.
Like, what the heck, man? Why does it have to be so good?
And it's like, bro, I'm gonna spend $25 on that good ass meal.
Exactly,
man.
but you go to a shop and you see a t-shirt on special for $25 and you're like, nah, it's too much, man.
bro,
It's too much. But you'll spend $25 on a freaking fried chicken meal. What the heck? Bro, it's
actually,
crazy.
yeah.
It's how minds work, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's primal. Maybe it's something
it's
like,
yo.
I need food. I need this.
So we value it more like,
Yeah.
it's like, yo, I'd
It could
spend
be
more.
that it's like an instant reward.
True.
That's
it
true.
gives you instant.
That's true.
Because, I mean, I gained 40 pounds. I don't actually know if I did. But
I'm going to look how much that is in
Yeah.
kgs.
I think it's like,
20 something.
Oh my gosh.
nah, not that.
Bro,
How did you gain it?
I didn't. I've been like the same way forever. But
Where was the story going? 18 kilograms. Let's just say you gained 18 kgs.
I gained and lost 18 kilograms.
How? Tell us about that journey.
Well, KFC, innit? KFC.
KFC exists.
Yeah, bro,
Jackson
KFC literally-
earns 18 kg. He earned it. You earned this, big
Bro, you
man.
earned that, bro.
You earned that, big man.
Bro, that's hard work, bro. That's hard work that you did, man.
Flippin',
Just consistently eating more than you burnt off. That's outstanding.
bro.
It's so good, though.
It is. It's amazing.
Well,
And
I mean,
hate
like you said, how it's an instant reward. I think that's why people are addicted to spending as well, because the thing of actually spending hits a zing in their mind, and is like,
That's true.
it's like that's the dopamine or whatever, the endorphins,
is, yeah.
and the release. And then I think people are addicted to the thrill of like just spending.
Yeah. Watching their bank account drain to zero and, oh my gosh, it just does something. The adrenaline starts rushing. How am I going to survive this next week?
There is something to that though, like the serotonin, just, you know, the drip in your brain. I think it's so easy to become addicted to that feeling because it's so easy to do. You know, if you get paid every Wednesday, and when you get paid, you go out for takeaway or something.
You get a big lump of money in your bank account.
Yeah.
Bro, that's the thing. Seeing all that money there, unless you have budgeted it, is that money is there to be spent.
Right.
That's another thing.
Or you can think, I can at least spend like, I can at least just go out and buy this because I've got like a, so your mind, you're thinking, you're not thinking.
It's crazy. Yeah, I totally agree. But that's another thing. The importance of a written budget. It is so important. Right. I've only realized it since owning our first home.
Yeah.
This is really important. Having a budget. There's lots of budgeting apps there, but budgeting every single dollar.
Right.
And
every
using those
dollar.
Dave Ramsey baby steps as a guideline to where that extra money should be going. Because what we would have an extra $700-800 in our bank at the end of our pay. And our first thought would be, whoa. We have all this extra money. Man, what? How do we have this? Yeah. Whoa. We can just go and spend it. And we used to go and spend it.
Yeah.
But then we realized, we're actually staying. If we keep on spending that extra money, we are going to be in the same position in a year's time that we are in now.
Yeah.
That's the worst thought in my head that I could ever imagine, being in the exact same financial position in a year's time that I am now. Because I'm not gutsy enough to squirrel that money away, to start off that $1,000 emergency fund, to get rid of my debt, to start that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Yeah. What a shame. What a shame to be in the same position in a year that you are right now. Yeah. What an absolute shame.
Saving money, we've seen recently with, everything going on, lockdown and coronavirus and everything. You don't know when stuff is going to hit the fan. So it is so important putting aside a little bit of money here and there, because it can really be the difference between eating and not eating. Unfortunately, there's some people over this coronavirus thing that they were living paycheck to paycheck because they just weren't thinking about it. Nobody thought that the country was going to go on lockdown, or the world,
Yeah.
But in a way, you almost have to plan for the unexpected. Expect the unexpected.
And that's the thing. It's not an attack on those people, because at the end of the day, we touched on this before. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
And these people that had nothing squirreled away and really, unfortunately, lost their jobs over this coronavirus epidemic, they were left with nothing. They were left with the only option to go onto the benefit. And very fortunately, we have a benefit system in New Zealand. Maybe it's not where it needs to be right now. Maybe it's not as robust as it needs to be right now. But luckily, we have that there for those people who really need it.
Yeah.
But dang it, they just didn't know. And now they find themselves in this position of not being able to rely on that paycheck every week.
Yeah.
They're in a position where they're on the benefit. They're not earning very much at all now. And oh no, disaster. And I guess coming back to that idea of being in the same place in a year as you are today, maybe that's what success is making improvements, however little, however big, on your personal situation.
Yeah.
I'm in this position right now today. I've got $1,000 in the bank. I've got my emergency fund done. But hey, I've still got lots of debt to pay. In a year's time, am I going to be in the same place where I still have that emergency fund? I've done baby step 1. Woo, yeah, I'm so awesome. Yeah. But I've still got all that debt there left to pay.
Yeah.
What a shame that would be to not make improvements on our own situation. And sure, life is going to hit. Life is going to happen. It's going to hit different sometimes. I mean, it's going to...
And it do.
It do hit different, man. It's going to happen, and bad things are going to happen. That's life. Unfortunately, fortunately, if you're an optimist or a pessimist, it's going to happen. You just have to be ready for those things.
Yeah.
And you have to be working your butt off to attain what your personal idea of success is in this life. Just making improvements every single day, little incremental improvements.
Yeah.
Just becoming better and better every day.
Yeah, that's right.
Where do you think you guys sat on the? Did you have money coming through? Like, was everything comfortable, or was it?
Yeah.
Was there some tough years?
No, it was quite comfortable.
Yeah.
Me personally, growing up, I didn't have money. Like, yeah, I never saw money, and the money that I did see, it was gone.
Yeah.
Like I had I always wanted a PSP growing up.
Bro, me too.
And I set out the plan, right? I did actually set a plan. I needed $350 and say every time I did chores or whatever, I'd get $20. Right? And I set up how many $20 I needed in order to be able to get that PSP. But because I just never had money, every time I got $20, that joy was gone, and I bought the latest Jimmy Neutron toy. Like everything, it was just gone. You know what I mean?
Dude, I feel you. In high school, I was working at Farmers. Shouts out to Farmers. But while I was working at Farmers, like I was making a little bit of money.
Yeah.
But most of it was going to cheese breads and hash browns. If you've been to Shirley Boys, you know what's up with those things.
BTB.
Bro, BTB.
Yeah.
Dude, cheese breads and hash browns are where it was at. But,
Yes.
you know, I was thinking if I'd saved that money, you know.
Yeah.
Because me and my brother, we both had small jobs that we were always kind of doing something. But if I had to save that money instead of spent it, I'd probably have like $15,000 like set aside for real.
Yeah.
For real.
Bro, it's actual like that thing you were talking about the instant like reward and getting food. And food is a killer, but it's the worst killer because like the next day you're not benefiting from that food you spent all that money on.
Dude,
you know what I mean? So it's like you've spent that money, you've wasted that money you can't get back, and you're like for that 10 minutes that you ate that food. And there was one weekend when I didn't spend any food.
Yes.
And
yes. Tell me about it.
And like I honestly felt like so good because I knew that I had that money that I didn't spend.
Yeah. You know what the worst thing about spending money, especially on fast food, is? Like sometimes we'll go to McDonald's, you know, that's just what we do. You get your Big Mac or whatever, your double quarter pounder if you're living frivolously.
Yeah.
And after you finish it, you're not full. Oh. Like you still want
and
to
the
munch.
thing is, that's like $20. So, bro, I'm still hungry.
That's like $20. Bro, that happens way too often.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Bro.
And I'm not eating like a lot, but sometimes it just doesn't hit.
Bro, that's the worst.
When it just doesn't hit.
The worst is when you buy something, you spend mad money on fast food and it just doesn't hit the spot. And you just feel so depressed after and you're just like, oh my gosh,
Bro,
it's the worst.
Wait, okay, the other day, I had to pay for Joel as well on a meal. And then,
Joel's his brother, by
bro,
the way.
it didn't have the prices on the menu either. And so I'm like, it shouldn't be that bad. I go to the counter, and the lady's like, $65 for both of us.
What were you
$65. And I was just like, hot damn, okay. I reluctantly paid it. But the thing is, it did not hit for me at all, the food. So I was depressed after that.
Sometimes the most expensive meal doesn't hit.
No.
Bro, yeah, I know.
Bro, that's why I only go to
bro.
expensive restaurants with coupons.
Because they've got a no-hit guarantee.
So you spend with the coupon, you haven't spent anything, and go get McDonald's afterwards.
Yeah. Bro, the biggest killers right now, KFC coupons.
Oh man.
The PLU deals.
Bro,
They are killing.
they're just too good, man.
They are too good. You can get a mate Zinger deal. You can get a Zinger burger 2 wicked wings, a potato and gravy, chips, and a drink for you and your mate for $20.
Hey, surely that's us for lunch.
Surely that's where we're going after this.
For real though.
Bro, it's killer. These guys are
man.
killing us with their deals.
Bro, and that's what, yeah.
And we're eating it up like a bunch of dummies.
Yeah. The thing is, man,
Gosh.
we've grown up in a society where it's attractive to spend. Like they're making spending attractive, man.
That's so good.
Everything is like products. We're programmed as a kid. Like we're
Yeah.
seeing ads in our favorite cartoons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it looks like they're glorifying spending.
Well, let's talk about this. All of your favorite cartoons were ads.
Yeah.
All of your favorite cartoons were ads to sell toys. That's all they were. You know? And this is, you do have to wonder, like, is it ethical? How much
that in your
advertising we have? How much...
What have we got on?
That just blew my mind, bro.
Yeah, well, so every cartoon that you saw as a kid, all of them were to sell toys. None of them were to entertain children. It kind of changed in the 2000s.
Wait, so like Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory.
I'm not sure about it. Was definitely more like the early ones, like He-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, okay.
You know, like definitely in the 80s and 90s, they were all to sell toys. Kind of in the late 90s, early 2000s, it changed with Cartoon Network, and they were doing, you know, all of their weird shows. But so much of our life, like, we're getting advertised to. You know, so much of our life. Even the coupons, like you're making a saving, but you're still spending your money at KFC. Like they're making more money than they're losing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
It's
or else I wouldn't be
crazy.
doing it. Yeah.
It's crazy, and we don't realize it. Like so much of our money is spent because things are getting advertised to us all the time.
Yeah. Even like just subconsciously, like we'll watch a movie and like the dude has like a drink, like a Coca-Cola or whatever, and it just looks so good.
Bro, yeah.
And then like your mind is just that thought. I'm like, man, I feel like I'm from Coke. You know what I mean? Or whatever,
Coca-Cola.
like just subconscious.
Well, all movies are built on advertisement.
Yeah.
In every movie, you're always going to see some sort of advertisement. Whether it's iPhone, Samsung, Pepsi, Coke.
Yeah.
iPhone's killer.
iPhone's
Like
Coke.
how many times do you see people using iPhones in TV shows and in movies?
How about this? How many movies have you seen or TV shows with a car chase scene? Those cars were advertised. So that company, if you see the logo, paid for that car to be in that movie.
Any logo.
What?
Any logo,
Seriously?
100%, because they know that it's all about repetition. So if you see, you know, a Toyota ad, Toyota car, every time you see it, you're going to think, Toyota, new car, brand new car, $20,000 around the corner. You know what I mean? Like, it's all repetition and just ingraining it in your mind.
Yeah. And I guess because at our age and stage, we don't really have $20,000 in the bank to go out and buy those things. So then on top of advertising those things to us, they normalize getting those things on high purchase. They normalize financing those things and saying, oh, I can afford it because I can make the payments. Oh, I can make the payments. I can pay $300 every 2 weeks. I can do it. I can afford it.
If you turn on the television right now, every 15 minutes there's going to be a finance ad.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, you might see one or two, whether it be for high interest loans, whether it be for housing mortgages. Like everything is, so much of our life is on loan. When I was in America in December, you'd be watching, you know, whatever, South Park. But in every ad would be either like medication or loans. You know, like that's all it is. You know, medication to feel good and loans to pay for stuff that make you feel good. Like it's crazy. It's crazy how much of our society is built on putting other people in debt. Yeah. Like realistically, we don't need an iPhone. No. You know what I mean? Like there's been 6,000 years, if you want to be like liberal with how long people have been around. At least, whatever the number is. we've only had an iPhone since 2008. Like, we don't need it.
No, yeah.
There's a new movement now of people just buying flip phones, you know, and just having a flip phone. Something so you can still keep in contact with people. But, you know, when you're on your iPhone and when you're on Instagram, so much of it is just you're getting bombarded with advertisement, with you know, like you can go on any Instagrammer, my homegirl Addison Rae, you scroll through, half of her stuff is advertisement. You know what I mean?
She the TikTok girl.
Yeah. Well, that's how they make money.
Yeah.
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 It's crazy.
Well, I mean, if you're getting like millions of people watching your stuff, they're of course gonna monetize on that. Like,
And for the advertisers, it's guaranteed money.
yeah, exactly. Especially to that young age, where their minds are so, what's the word?
Malleable.
Malleable.
Yeah.
Malleable. They can. It's
Yeah, that's
ingraining that
crazy,
kind of
man.
thought into their
Well, you know what the crazy thing with advertisement is? Let's say the crazy thing with advertisement, let's say like an Adidas thing on Instagram. If they're paying someone to promote Adidas, that could be a $20,000 paycheck for them.
yeah.
If you've got, you know, Millie Bobby Brown, however many followers she has, like 60 million or something. You know, every advertisement she's putting on is 20,000 minimum. There's been people that have been paid $500,000 just to sell stuff to their followers, because every company knows that they're gonna make that money back like that. You know, we see something that we want and we want it. We want to buy it. We desire it.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. That's exactly right. Yeah. And then, like, plus the thing, like iPhones and that, so we don't need it.
No.
But I think they're trying to make a society where like people think you do need it, like that revolve around like an iPhone or a smartphone. You have to have like a.
Because if you don't have a smartphone these days, a
yeah.
decent smartphone, you're low-key ridiculed
Yeah,
for not
yeah,
having a smartphone. When I went for like a year and a half without having a phone, the amount of people that just kind of looked like, what? You don't have a phone? I was like, I don't need one.
Not only do you get ridiculed, but they make it hard for you to do things.
It is.
Like
yeah.
if you're going to university, when we came back after Corona, we had to sign in on an app. But if you don't have a phone, like there's consequences.
Yeah.
You know, how hard is it to go to the bank and open up an account in person? It's difficult. You got to take ID. You got to do this, that, and the other. You can do it on your phone in like 20 minutes. Like it's. You can see how phones are helpful, and they're kind of building this like society around like convenience and making everything helpful. I don't know. It's wild. It's not really a point.
It's wild.
It's wild, yeah. Very wild.
You know what the smart thing Apple does? Apple like if they got a product in their movies, they will never have a bad guy with their products. It will always be the good guy. So like, see a good guy with it, you get those positive like reinforcements for their products, and you think Apple, you think like the hero,
Yeah.
or whatever. Just little subconscious things like that.
That's super smart. Scary.
Incredible.
A very
Yeah.
materialistic world. That's why learning about finance is very important. Bringing
the segue.
not to bringing it back.
Not that we went on a journey there.
Full round circle, right back.
It's important to know and to be financially equipped,
Yeah.
so you don't
It's important to be different as well nowadays. It's important to just really have strong standings and moral viewpoints on the world for what decisions you are going to make.
Right. Yeah.
Or else you're going to go with the flow. You're going to be swept up in this crazy hysteria of materialism and spending.
Yeah.
You've got to have such strong values that you say, no, I'm going to really think about this before I spend this money. You've got to treat every dollar like it's the last dollar you'll ever earn.
True.
Maybe for the first year that you actually start learning about finances, because that'll set you in good stead for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
With finances, learning to value every dollar is such an important thing. Thank you for joining us for Tall Poppy Chats episode 1. I hope that it was a really informative episode and a little bit entertaining as well. I'd like to thank myself, Alex, our special guest star, Lige, and Jackson as well for popping in and entertaining us with his crazy hot takes on things. So check out Dave Ramsey on his YouTube channel. Get those baby steps started now. Do not wait. Write down your budget. Start your journey to financial success now. We want you to succeed. We want you to be wealthy. We don't want you to live a mundane life. You get into your first home. You buy that first car with cash money. Don't lend like we did, like Dave Ramsey did, like everybody does. You be different. Get that $1,000 emergency fund started this week. Write down that budget. Have a talk with your partner if you've got one. It's time to get on the track to financial success. Thank you for joining us. See you later.